because they did it.
Some of these roads that you're talking about, Kenny, you can't drive 55 mile an hour on. Some of these roads that you're talking about are the lowest class grade of road that we have in the county.
Oh yeah, I'm not
No, they
arguing.
don't have a speed limit.
I'm not arguing that
But
fact.
you can't drive 55.
No, I'm not arguing that fact.
You know,
I'm just saying that Jackie can't patrol a road that they shouldn't be doing 55 on. If they're doing 55 and 55 is too fast, he can't write tickets on a road that's not marked if they're doing 55, which is too fast, if it's not marked as a state law.
well, there's some roads, if they're doing 55 on it, they won't need Jackie, they'll need an ambulance.
So why don't we stop? Why don't we do something to stop before that happens, before they need anything?
Well, just putting up a sign, is it putting up a sign going to just, in your state of mind right now, putting up that sign is going to stop everything.
I didn't say that. I'm saying it allows Jackie to enforce the law.
Jackie can't police every one of these
He
roads.
sure can't, but sure enough, if they're running and they have somebody out there, then he can police it. But if it's an unmarked road and it's 55, you can't write a ticket for somebody going 55 on an unmarked road that's 55 if they're going too fast. So
It's
Kenny, do
unfortunate.
you know if they do the private act, does that make them out there, they would have to put up a sign? You know?
according to the county mayor down there, he said if you do it through committee and through the commission, you would have to provide signage, which would be costly. He said, but if you go through legislation, then it essentially makes it where it's an amendment to the state law for Warren County, and you would not have to provide
That's the
signage.
reason I'm asking, that's another factor that you're not figuring in this, it costs maybe a fortune to go through and put signage on.
Oh, yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. I'm not
And so
talking
that's the
about
reason
marking
I-
every road.
That's the reason I asked the question.
I'm not talking about every road, and I brought forth the Fultz Cove Road is the one that I brought, and it's not like I, said something about 10 or 20 roads. We talked about one road last meeting. So, and Castle Street was the meeting before that, and that wasn't even brought by me. So, what I'm saying is if we're going to start, discussing roads and speed limits and things like that, I understand people are fussing, and I understand people are upset about people going too fast on these roads. But if we don't do something, you mentioned it yourself, Gary, you don't want people in here every single month complaining about speed
No,
limits.
I don't.
But really, the committees need to go about it the right way,
Yes.
so it'll hold up in court.
Yes.
Correct.
And that's the reason I wanted the sheriff to be here. That's the reason I wanted some information from T-Dot.
And I've talked
It's out of our hands as far as
And I talked to the county attorney, and he said he didn't feel that lowering the speed limit would cause the county any liability at all. Matter of fact, you can't increase it past 55, but lowering these speed limits actually probably helps eliminate some liability. So,
In what time?
in less than an hour. How many deputies would you have to add to your? How many deputies would you have to add to your department to police these little rural roads?
I mean, just to work traffic and speed enforcement. We need several.
But that's what it gets back to, just like Brett was telling me. In an hour, over here it is, nursery, there was 60 cars.
Yeah. That's what Wilson Love.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Wilson Love.
that's one a minute. I mean, we just got a lot more traffic.
You wouldn't think about there being that much traffic on that road, would you? And it's
Look at all those houses they built over
It's-
there.
Yeah, there's places all over the county that's like that. I mean,
Yeah.
It's just a lot of traffic out there.
and it's not even really the fact that, I totally understand this. You can't police it with 6 people, but when you're driving, I passed half a dozen today driving, and if I was going too fast, they're going to turn around and pull me over. If they're doing that fast on Fultz Cove Road or on this road, they're going to pull me over. It's not about the sitting there waiting on somebody to do something. It's about whenever you're, out doing your daily duties and somebody breaking the law.
We got roughly how many miles of county road, lady?
Everything around 700.
See, you got.
That's a lot of
You got
road.
700 miles of road and 6 deputies on.
I mean, most of the time we're serving warrants and civil
Yeah.
process and, And then in the meantime, you know, I don't know, but I've come out here and run radar myself on Old Smithville Road. You know, I mean, there's definitely a lot of traffic, that goes down that road. His particular place right there, I would say that is dangerous.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
it's
is.
dropping right off the road,
Yeah.
you know, there, and there's people coming, you know, up through there. I mean, and he's coming out of there. I mean, there's not much. Somebody coming up that hill or something like that. I mean, you know, that's a dangerous spot right there.
It talks about the contour of the road, and that's real curvy, you know, and that makes a lot of difference.
That's the only thing that,
I mean, Gary, what are you thinking? I mean, when we get a complaint, just like if a person
I
comes
feel
to
like
us
we
and says,
need to come to a conclusion of what's a good speed, 35 or 40, and let it be.
On all the roads, Gary?
On all the
county
roads.
Well, there again, you have,
Different types of roads.
Yes.
You got different types of roads.
Because that private act that they mentioned, their goal was to set all unmarked roads at 45 miles an hour. And that way it lowered the state by 10. And then some of these roads, if you happen to get somebody, then it allows you to better police those. And it's a safer speed.
But at the same time, you have to have a sign up.
Not to a private act, according to them.
If there's not a sign on a road, on one of those little roads, there's not a sign on it, it won't stand up in court.
It will if it goes through
It
state
won't stand
legislature.
up in court if there's not a sign on it. Now, ask your county attorney that.
I already did. And he said that if it goes through the state legislature through a private act, then it's an amendment to the state law.
But it still has to have a sign.
No, it doesn't have a
Well,
sign right now.
It would have to, because
have to.
There's no sign now.
Well, yeah, but just study about this for a minute. If I was out of town resident, and I come in on that
Yeah.
road, how would I know you've got a private act in this
really.
county?
You gotta have a sign. It don't
You
matter.
have
if you got-
private acts that other people don't know about now.
No, but I mean, if people drive through the county all the time in a car, if they don't, I mean, you go through other counties, don't you?
Oh yeah, and
All right, if there's no sign up and and they pass the private act, the 30 mile an hour is the speed limit, and they pull you over and give you a ticket for you to.
and that's fine. If the law is the law, then that's fine. But the way that it was explained to me is that if you amend that private act, then that private act is just an amendment to the state law for your county specifically.
Oh, I understand that, man. I understand what you're saying, but I still believe by law you would have to put up a sign.
We definitely
because
wind up in court.
you wind up in court because somebody from out of town gets a ticket. They're not going to.
Well, I mean, and that's fine if that's the case, which doesn't negate the fact that it is a costly, you know. But then if somebody wrecks on one of these roads and it costs them however much because somebody's hurt or killed in a car wreck, then and we didn't do something or try to do something because we were asked about the safety on these roads, then where does that leave us? This discussion has come up about the safety of these roads in front of this committee, and if we say, well, we're just going to do nothing, then what liability does that leave?
We're here trying to do something right now, Ken.
I understand.
But like he said, and I said, and this guy right here agreed, you gotta have a sign.
well,
That
put
private
signs.
act does not mean that.
Then put
How much
signs.
money would it cost you? Just got through asking Levy a while ago, what kind of money it costs.
Around $50 to $60
Yeah.
just for the sign cost.
per sign.
Per sign.
So if we don't do something and there's a liability claim
Well,
against
no,
the county,
no.
what's the tort liability for the county to pay out to a family if their family gets hurt? or
the only way to
killed?
avoid what you're saying
Several $100,000.
is handle it on a case-by-case basis and post them.
Well,
But Gary doesn't want to do that because it's a troublesome to this committee.
No.
That's what it was said last.
No, you got it wrong here. I think that everybody on this committee is tired of every month being a road brought up. I think we need to make a solution for all the roads in this county.
And so if somebody if it comes up, then it's just we're going to.
It's already posted. It'll already be posted.
You just said it costs money. That's what you just came up.
Well, Levy said it costs $50, $60. You know, we just
Right,
have
but
some way to put that in our
But
budget.
wasn't
We'd have to put
that
that
your
in our
argument? For
budget,
what I
wouldn't
just said was that it was going to cost money.
Yeah,
So-
it'll cost money.
But that was your argument against, what I said was even with the private act, well, we got to put signs up. Yeah,
We gotta put
okay,
signs up,
okay.
yeah. But you were saying that we didn't.
According to the lawyer that I talked to today, So
I'm sure if he looked into it more, he'd have some.
and I would be happy to admit that I'm wrong if that's the case. And
I think what they're trying to say is they're not arguing with you that the state's saying you don't have to do it, post them if you do go through the private act. But what they're trying to say is, and I agree, is like Terry said, somebody out of town that's not aware of that, even by law, if it's not.
and I agree. It
Even by law,
would
if it don't
wind
have
up
to
in
be
court.
posted.
Yeah, I have
they're
no
still
doubt
gonna
that
go to
would
court
happen.
about it.
And I would
Because
agree with
you know,
you.
they're gonna claim you-
Enforce it when he goes up there and he tells them, hey, I didn't know they had a private act.
Yeah.
Let the speed
So
limit.
they're gonna go to court.
Yeah.
And it's gonna bring on more issues.
What if, and I'm just throwing this out here, and I'm not, y'all are the decision makers. What if we get complaints on the road? Why don't we do our due diligence and I'll take somebody, Brad, Kenny, or somebody, and we'll go out and we investigate that before we just do something. Cause I think everybody would agree, if there's some roads 55 is fine, and there's some roads that it's not.
And I agree with you, Gary. I think,
And
you know,
not to bring it in front of y'all all the time. I mean, if we could maybe, if we got a complaint or something like, maybe 6 months, or something like that, and bring it all to you at one time if there's several. But not every meeting bring up, a different road to work on the speed limit. But
Well, the fact is, like we've said before, with all the people moving here, it don't matter if it's 35 or 55, you're gonna have a complaint.
Mhm.
Like you just said, you're not gonna be able to.
You got 3 or 4 different categories of road on the road map. You got A, what is it? A,
You got 1, 2, 3,
1,
4
2, 3,
classes,
4. 4 being the
about 8 to 12 foot, and
Yeah.
13 to
So-
15.
4 being,
16,
I guess, what we'd say the nearest and
Yeah.
maybe
but I agree.
less traffic on it.
Yeah.
So let's go. You got your number ones. They're better roads or wider roads. Up the speed limit on them. Your lower roads, your higher roads, which is number 4. Some of them is not wide enough to meet much unless you pull over.
Yeah.
They're tar and chip, put a different speed limit on them roads. You got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. You got better roads with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and they can drive a little faster. On some 3 and 4, you can't. That may be a starting point right there.
Well, the only thing, like this Old Smithville Road, it's probably a class 2 road. But when you head up through towards the nursery, those curves, that makes it more
Yeah.
dangerous.
Right.
Talks about being the contour, and that, like, he's talking about now one speed limit for one does not automatically work for all of them.
Right.
Because there's different
Yeah.
classifications, And, I've had some calls since all this come up. One's called about Turner's Bend, and maybe another one called the other day about another road wanting a speed limit lower. Of course, we've always had the problem, And
Well, I think you're right. We don't need to just have an arbitrary,
Just like if you go to Highway 55 and you're going into Somerville down there, when you go past that market First Chance, it drops into 45. 55. Okay, a lot of people don't know it, but when right before you get to that market, it drops into a 35. And you go down there a little ways past that intersection, and it goes out of the 35 back into 45. It's got a different kind of sign on it and everything. You just barely can see it. Most people never see that sign right there. They've got one of those radars down there now. Belongs to the Sheriff's Department. What I'm asking is, would they be money in our budget levy that we maybe could buy one of those trailers of our own
well, probably
to
possibility.
where we could take it if needed?
Possibility.
Because,
And I just wonder too, would it be a bad thing to try to get a traffic engineer to look at some of the roads and get their opinion? I feel like they stress that pretty much, you know.
And I know you said you tried to call Mr. Castleberry. I tried to call him and not got a return phone call.
evidently, you got to make an appointment with him and everything.
Yeah, he's pretty busy. I've called several times too.
And he probably wouldn't want to come up here to one of our meetings. 'Cause
There might be some other engineers that's qualified to give traffic, speeds,
I think there's 6 or 7 guys in his position in the state. So
Yeah.
we'd have to find somebody that's got those qualifications. I think the ultimate is going to fall back to our committee and to the county court to do what's best and safest. And we just have to figure out together what that solution is. And,
Well, you mentioned lawsuits, well, go to a couple of $100,000. I've been on this committee 28 years. Levy, you've been in this department for 32 years, going on 32 years. Have we ever been sued over an accident on some of the roads where it's anything to do with that right there?
not that I'm aware of. Of course, maybe I don't always look at all the reports,
and I'm not saying that there would be. I'm just saying that if this was brought to us as a committee as a problem, and it was found out later on that there was a problem and it wasn't addressed, which we are addressing it, then there could be issues. No different than a lawsuit coming up to avoid a speed limit, if we don't have signs. So,
Well, it all boils down to common sense. It all boils down to kids on this road here.
But how can Jackie and his department?
Jack can't. We would, but like he said, he'd have to have 6 to 8 more deputies.
I don't know if I do. If you're talking about 60 cars coming down there, and I guarantee you can sit under and half of those were speeding. I don't care what your limit is.
And they're either
Half of them will
texting
be either,
or
it's
something on their phone. They're looking at the phone, they're not looking ahead.
just it's the.
Plus, you got them curves. You got your every curve down there on that road out there. It's marked. I mean, but kids don't know what that means. They don't mean when you got a curve like that right there. They don't know that road's going to be doing that once they got up on it and everything. They don't have an idea because they're not taught that again, and they're not taught that when they get their driver's license. Their parents evidently don't teach them that. When they get 16 now, if they get their driver's license, they put them in an automobile. Wham, let them go.
But they've had the same kids have had cell phones since they were 8,
You can't live with that.
which drives me crazy.
I mean, it's not too crazy, but if we look into just speed deterrence, I mean, on 55, like speed hump, the bumps and speed humps and some other things that we could put on some of these roads, I mean, would that be less less costly than what we're doing just to get them to slow down?
I have done a little bit of that. Of course, the state engineer back then said their main is for an intersection or something, but said leave it at your discretion sometimes, putting those speed bumps.
I just wonder on
Rumble strips.
I just wonder if, on long stretches of road, can we not put that in there to get them to slow down at least, they hit that, I mean, they're gonna think about it.
Well, sometimes they put them and start complaining and it goes back and it didn't really meet the criteria. There you are again, what they was designed for, So I don't know, it's an issue. It's just hard to please everybody on this, and it's been a factor, and it's more people and it's more people speeding.
Yeah.
And a lot of people has kids that play out, even by the roads and stuff, and they're concerned they're in the road even sometimes. They call me in the road.
A lot of the houses are being built right
On the road, yeah.
And if you got a family and your kids are out
Yeah.
there, it's an issue,
I make some suggestion. Maybe Levy, you could get a hold of this Landon Castleberry.
Yeah.
Or maybe he could send someone to our January meeting.
Okay.
And maybe get some advice from them.
Yeah.
Input.
Yeah.
And we'll have a road list with us where he can go through and look at the conditions of each road, 1 through 4. Give him an idea, how wide that road is versus one over here, what should the speed limit be on this road versus that road?
I'll see if I can get in touch with him.
Huh?
I'll see if I can get in touch with him.
I mean, even if we can have a virtual meeting with him and just, if he doesn't come down here, well, maybe we can,
He could send somebody.
he could send somebody or set up something virtual to be able to.
This is just a small part of the growing pains that we're gonna be experiencing for several
You're
years.
exactly right. And if all these houses around here gets built that people are wanting to build, it's gonna be worse than that.
I think a lot of counties have the same problems.
Yeah, I mean,
Benny said they did. Cannon County, Coffee County.
Yeah.
They said they did.
Of course, I did talk to one in McMinn County. He said, lady, we don't have authority to set speed limits. I tell them if they want them to set it, the county court, get them an engineer, traffic engineer, and let them study them and set the speed limits, And he's had a lot of trouble in McMinn County. And I talked to another one. Sometimes the people that's on that road, he says, you get me 75, 80% signature on that road that they want it lowered, and he recommends it to the county court. So, but the number one is, most that I've heard is the traffic engineer has the best power to, set a speed limit. Or recommend it to the county.
Yeah, recommend.
This lady by here is the last say so of it. Of course, the sheriff can have input. I could too, but you can't arbitrarily pull just a speed limit out of the sky,
right. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the roads we're talking about, I mean, we don't necessarily have, like if, say, Fultz Cove Road, they're speeding on it, but I'm not gonna go back and pull a bunch of regs that we've had on Fultz Cove Road, because I mean, you can't really, do very fast on there anyway, or
Well,
you
they got 2 or 3 really sharp curves. Sharp curves.
But I mean, it's something that but you can see the gradual progression of houses being built all the way around Fultz Cove Road too, so they're, it's just, if it's predictable, it's preventable, and that's kind of what we're here trying to
Mitigate the situation.
And a lot of these bigger roads, a lot of times, wreck speed is the number one factor, right? On state routes and other routes. When people get on a county road, sometimes they think they're on a state road,
Well, there's just a whole lot more traffic on it.
That's right. A lot of people travel Old Smith on still New Smith Highway.
Yeah.
Well, I live on the old highway, old National Highway. They come through there running 60, 70, 80 miles an hour.
They do.
And there's a brand new 4-lane right over there.
And it's supposed
Well, and on that 4-lane too, coming back from Murfreesboro, good Lord. If you're not going 75 or 80, they'll run over you trying to get home. Hey,
Yeah.
I don't begrudge a man trying to get home from his job, but Jesus, please don't run over the old woman trying to get home. So, but,
Anybody else got any ideas?
Gary, are you gonna still try to hold them resolutions? Because the way we done that, we'll have to table them again, under old business.
It just depends on this committee here.
All right, well, I just want to make a decision, because they will. That's the rules. We didn't lay it on the table, it was just tabled. If it had been laid on the table, you'd have to have 2/3 vote to bring it off.
Well, don't you
What?
think we ought to wait until we see if maybe can get a hold of somebody or if they send somebody to their meeting? Or
I'm wanting somebody to come here at one of our meetings.
I make a motion, Mr. Chairman, that this gets tabled again
Tabled again.
in December. And hopefully, because you all know, you're not gonna get anything done at Christmas time.
All holidays.
Right.
So our meeting actually needs to be put back another week too, because of
Yeah.
of the first.
Yeah.
So we need to also have our meeting.
Yeah, that would be, let's see. Well, the first Tuesday of the month would be this January the 6th.
The first is on Thursday.
Well, that'd be all right, but I don't know where there'd be anybody from T-Dot available that week, you know. Maybe we need to put it off the following week, which would be what,
13th.
13th? And that might give somebody, you know.
You might want to wait and see when they're available. I may change your date.
Yeah.
I'd have to.
Jackie, you be available about it any time.
I should be.
So you wanna hold off on calling the date till we see if
Yeah, Levy, can you get a hold of somebody
I'll try to.
and see when they're gonna be available, you know?
And there might be another engineer that's licensed, you know, for traffic, for speed.
Yeah.
So then,
And I'll
you
send
know,
that on motion.
All right, got a motion on the floor, got a second. All in favor by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, any more business?
Chairman Prater, do we need to make a motion to, change our meeting date for January, or just kinda?
We're gonna hold off till he gets us a date when the guy from the T-Dot can be here.
But do we need a motion to say we're gonna postpone?
Yeah, we
it
did,
until-
put that in a motion, Colin.
I make that motion.
I'll
So
second.
second on the floor, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
would it be easier even if I could get him some way he could talk over the phone or something
Yeah,
like
we
that?
can do, you know,
Visual, satellite, some way.
Yeah.
Meeting. He wouldn't have to drive all the way from Chattanooga, you know, late, you know.
I'll talk with, one of the lieutenant colonels in the highway patrol.
Yeah, they
And
might know somebody.
I'll talk to them too, and I'll ask, not only which we've asked before, but just to try to get us more help, you know, because they can go on the back roads and run radar too, you know, and help us. And so, you know, when we're having these issues, if we have, maybe they can send their guys and try to help us do some enforcement on the speed, and maybe that will help out some.
you know RC, don't you?
Mhm.
What's he doing now? Is what they got him doing?
He's captain over CID, but Tim Spicer, he's
I know him well.
yeah, he's I talk to him, you know, pretty much every day. Yeah, we grew up, we was neighbors, and I'll call him and I'll ask him and see what they can do to help us.
If
We talk with him, he might know somebody else that we could get to
Yeah.
recommend a speed limit on county roads.
Yeah, he'll help us, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
He's a good guy.
Well, with them guys, if we could just give them a few hot spots.
Yeah.
You know.
They'll help.
Yeah.
I feel confident they'll help us.
Could someone look and see what one of those trailers would cost?
I can find that for you.
I mean, you got yours through a grant, but
Yeah, I can look.
we probably have to buy ours straight out.
I'm sure it's the same. We just purchased it with grant money. I'm sure we can.
It's just something that gets attention when they go around a curve and they see that.
Oh, no doubt. For about a week, it works.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the blue lights
Yeah.
will come on, and
You think them solar lights like we put out there for
The Amish,
yeah, you think something like that would work?
sure they would, but
I mean, something blinking like that would catch somebody's eye. We bought them for one, about,
they about $1,700-1,800
Yeah.
a piece. Because one of them got killed in the stove, remember?
Stole about 3 times and it's still.
Found it over the edge of coffee.
but I mean,
Can.
the battery. So
Mark Myers called me one day and said, "Are y'all missing one of them Amish signs?" I said, "Yes." And they could see it flashing at night. You know, they unloaded it somewhere over the fence road.
We went and got it. Then there was one found on Wade Road when I kind of was going to put out a little reward. A guy was coming out and he said, "Leave, I found your sign. It's blinking right here on the side of the road, Wade Road, dead end road behind Ivy Bus Church." We went and got it. It wasn't hurt.
I mean, that's something to think about. Even down here where.
What do you think? It actually slows people down. I mean, there ain't been no Amish run over there.
No.
Flashing lines probably gets, I don't know if that slows them down, but it probably gets their
Yeah.
attention. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, we put it on that hill because Amish come out of that Bertha Owens Road right there.
Right under the hill.
I'll tell you something else, and this is just a food for thought, but you can put one of them signs to tell people how fast they're going. And they might get used to it, but if they see a cop car sitting there, a county car, whether somebody's sitting in it or not, I don't care who you are, you're gonna slow down. I mean,
Hit them brakes automatically.
automatically.
They do that on the interstate a lot, have a fake set.
I mean, we could do something like that and just move it around every little bit. I mean, I'm just saying, why couldn't we?
Do
Yeah,
you have
kinda.
vehicles to do, extra?
I think we'll have one or two that will
Okay.
probably do that, at least one.
I kinda like that idea. Because
It kinda
I
all
think it would be
comes
more of a
in.
He
deterrent.
put someone out there close like to Brent, he could watch it. I mean, he wouldn't bother anyway, but I mean, he'd sit out there for a minute.
He could go sit in it for a while.
Turn
You
it
can do
on
this.
every once in
Jump
a
out,
while.
Brent, and say, "Citizens arrest!"
I don't like that. It's happened before. The county beside us over here. We got in with one guy named, but some of the people started riding around town and named it sitting there.
Oh,
So it's happening.
Huh.
We get a call, this is
May I be recognized for a moment?
Yes, you bet.
I think that maybe, and I don't know if it's possible or available, probably something that may help with federal money and all that, is maybe do a traffic count. If you do, like the state does.
Yeah.
You might be able to, because of the increase of traffic on roads, it might be of some, they might have a grant or something to address issues like that.
Okay.
I don't know. I've never seen a traffic count on a county road that I know.
We
of.
put, several years ago, we put some down on Blood Springs Road.
Okay.
And we still got one of those.
No, they threw a
Cheap.
through the part of TDOT.
Yeah.
They come and set it up, tied it off.
Well, they would probably do that for us, wouldn't they?
Yeah, if I can get back in touch with them.
I'll ask Spotsy if he can help.
Yeah. Okay, that'd be fine.
I think a lot of people will be shocked at how traffic cars is traffic.
Is, anybody else got anything? If not, would someone make a motion to adjourn? Motion to adjourn, second. All in favor, say aye.
Who
All right.
seconded that?
How do you?